Security.
Attention, Twitter staff.
Hey, it's Jesus.
Please give me your full attention. After my recent ultimatum, those who could come to work but did not come to work, their resignations have been accepted. It has been determined that those of you who remain have the potential for greatness. All Twitter offices will soon be locked down and your passes disabled. Now, it is time to separate the weak from the hardcore. Resignation accepted.
Got some news about your wife. Oh, to hell with my wife, Witcher. We've got bigger concerns. Such as? You've spent your life hunting monsters, but the truth is we're the monsters, Witcher. Look at us, cisgendered white males warming ourselves in front of a roaring fire while marginalised people are suffering. What are you jabbering about? I'm talking about ESG, Witcher. Social justice. Look at my men. They're all whiter than you, Witcher, and that's saying something. Now listen to me, Philip. It's not Philip anymore, Witcher. I'm Philippa now. The bloody Baroness. That's right, Witcher. I've gone trans. I don't even know what that means. It means I'm a biological male, Witcher, but I want to be more like a woman. Like Dandelion? Exactly, Witcher. I knew you'd understand. No. They double vaccinated me and gave me 5 booster shots. Look at the state of me. But I'd do it all again. This is what we have to do to protect people. They gave my buddy 13 shots. He's dead now.
You killed someone?
Wasn't me. But then I'm just getting warmed up. Now, who wants the first jab? And the rest of you, why aren't you wearing your masks?
Or any menstruating person in this country cannot make decisions over their own body.
Even limit their ability to get gender affirmation treatment in their state.
So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
And we will make America great again. God bless you. I love you.
One more is racist! One more is racist! And what size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Tuffy Brand Coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
From loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to our Tuesday show. Both Hannah Claire and Melanie Mack are late. I sent them both the link. They I don't know if they're straightening their hair or they're petting their cats. I don't really know. You know, women, am I right? I sent them the link. Guys, I mean, I don't know. This is gonna maybe end up being a solo show because they're just not here. I mean, I gave them the link. I don't really understand why they're not here, but I guess, you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. I see somebody in chat. I don't. It doesn't really seem like I don't know. That seems like an imposter account. Oh, I guess I see Melanie. Melanie is here at least. Oh, okay. Well, there's that.
Are you trolling us?
Oh, Hannah Claire finally arrived.
Well. Fake news quartering once again. Interesting. Melanie, yesterday he slandered me. He blamed the fact that I have a child and was out of control. Meanwhile, I'm messaging him on every platform. I'm like, Jeremy, where is the link? You can't hold a meeting in a building that is not constructed.
Hey.
Anyways.
Guys, fellas in the chat, I mean, you know, women be lying. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
News quartering.
Yeah, how was you? We got lots to talk about today. I know I got a spicy one for Melanie that I can't believe Hannah Claire didn't send me because you should have been all over this HCB.
Ooh.
But
we have a lot to talk about. But Jeremy is not sending out the link and also trolling his fellow co-host.
Hey,
I don't know what kind of climate this is.
True or false? You guys both had the link before the show.
Yes.
See? Okay, case closed, fellas.
I'm sorry. We had the link. We're just sitting there waiting while we're listening to you mock us from behind stage, not being allowed to do anything about it.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to use, because you still have like producer power. You could have added yourself to the... Yeah.
I'm going to add Melanie and me and be like, you can't stop this. But I took to chat instead because I wanted it to be documented what was going on.
Yeah, well, they don't believe you. Chat clearly sides with me. Men are never wrong. Boys. Am I right?
Believe all men.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a way of life.
That's right. The my mic is still. Yeah, people have been saying that. Let me see if the mic settings. The girls are a little quiet. Oh, you know what? Let me try this. I turned mine back on to automatically adjust. Maybe that'll be all right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Melanie, is it Black Tank Top Tuesday? Because I'm a fan.
I think so. Jeremy, you didn't get the memo.
You guys didn't tell me. I have a brand new one. It's
that's because you trolled us. I knew this was coming. You couldn't be a part of the gang.
Yeah, I guess. By the way, on YouTube, I'm going to mention this twice on the show, and it looks like so for great username. I like boobies. I do too. Mel was committing hate crimes, and HCB was polishing her World War II memorabilia collection. Now let's see what it is. Yeah, and Mr. P joined as a member. That's right. We are monetized now on YouTube, and I really, really hope just about everyone will join as a member. We're on the new channel now, Melanie. We're on the Quartering Live.
Quartering Live. Let's go.
Yeah, so joining as a member is like the ultimate Chad move. Wherever you are, if you're a Twitch viewer or you're Kick or you're Rumble or you're on Rumble, you should join Rumble Premium using my code because you get a free month. But on YouTube, hopefully you'll join as a member. Yeah, how was your evenings, you two? I heard that Hannah Claire she partially did her homework. That's good.
I watched Barbarian and I loved it. I actually loved it. It's one of my favorite horror movies I've watched in a while. And I know it's kind of it gets kind of cheesy at the end. Yeah, it gets a little weird, but I loved it. I thought it was what horror movies are supposed to be. It also just gave me a little more hope in what's happening in the future of Resident Evil because I haven't seen a Zach Egler movie before, and I've been a little concerned about because he's going to be directing the next Resident Evil movie.
Didn't he do Nosferatu?
Yeah, I didn't see that one. It has a lot of like sex scenes in it and stuff, so I didn't watch it.
Yes,
I mean, that's to my
sex
knowledge.
with a literal demon.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch that. I kind of have boundaries on that. But with Barbarian, oh my goodness, I loved it. I thought it was so great. I watched it with my mom and dad. They loved it too. But yeah, it's like, okay, I think he can do Resident Evil because Resident Evil has some campiness to it and some it doesn't take itself too serious. And Barbarian didn't take itself too serious in the grand scheme of things. So I think it could work. Somebody said different guy. I thought, Barbarian and Nosferatu are different guys.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Okay.
Now what's the director from Nosferatu? I watched it. The whole time I watched Nosferatu, I was like, I'm supposed to be liking this. Because everyone says I am. But it was good, but it was too slow. I know the original is very, very slow. But Barbarian is an interesting one.
It's great. It was legit a good watch. And my favorite word is in the movie.
It is. Yeah.
It's hard to describe Barbarian, I think, because of the vignette aspect of it.
Yeah, but it's really good. Horror thriller, and it doesn't take itself too serious, but it also has a message of a pretty good message against rapists and stuff. So
Eggers also did The Northman. Okay, The Northman was pretty good too with Skarsgård.
Oh, see, I watched The Northman, and it had too much sexual content for my taste. I watched it with my dad in the theaters. It was so awkward.
Oh no.
Dad just put his cap down over his face. It was so but it started out really awesome though. When he caught that spear and threw it back at him, we were like, cool. Whoa, this is gonna be sick. Well, then it just started getting really sexual, and I'm there with my dad, just me and my dad, that's it. We're like, oh, okay, this is weird.
Yeah, so Weird Robot in chat says, Jeremy, I feel like it's always the men who are on time for this stream. The women seem to have issues clicking links, and that they definitely always have. It's weird how that works. I know it is weird. Maybe we'll get to the bottom of it during their performance reviews, but we'll have to see. And I know Hannah Claire did finish Where Evil Lurks.
Okay.
She saved kind of the worst part of the movie for the third act is the worst.
I agree.
It's not bad. It's just not as good as the first 2/3 of the movies.
I will say overall, I wouldn't watch Where Evil Lurks again. I definitely like The Clove Hitch Killer more. It's definitely more my speed.
Oh,
but,
so you did watch that?
I did watch that.
Wasn't it great?
It was fantastic. It's really, really, really good.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that Where Evil Lurks is bad. It's just
it's not your style.
And it's hard to be you try to stay objective because the first half I watched at night, and then I was totally freaked out, and the second half I watched during the day, because I was
oh, for sure, that's different too.
But it's definitely I don't know, it's interesting. Well, okay, so for Clove Hitch Killer, again, it's just totally my speed, so it's much easier to recommend it. But it's always a good this is why I like having people recommend movies to me, because I'm the kind of person where I will just watch the same show over and over and over again. When I was at the end of my pregnancy, I watched the BBC Pride and Prejudice literally on loop. My husband would hear it restart from the other room exactly.
Oh, no.
It's a 6-episode miniseries constantly. And I don't know. It's just it's this. It's being the kind of person where you would eat the same meal every day.
I'm that guy. If when my divorce finally goes through. I will.
I don't like this joke anymore. It's making me sad.
I saw a comment on one of my videos yesterday that was I read about your divorce. I'm sorry to hear
Oh my
that.
goodness. I eat the same meal every day. It's just easy. This week, it's burger patties and cheese and sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's so easy.
If I was single, I'd be door dashing Qdoba every day.
Yeah.
Some days I would probably start with the quesadillas, and I'd realize I could probably do this more healthy, and I would go to the bowls. But it would be every day, same Qdoba order, probably for the first 6 months. Then I might mix it up occasionally. But if it weren't for my wife, I would definitely eat the same 2 or 3 things all the time. It's just.
I don't know how you don't. I mean, if you're making meals or whatever, I eat the same things. I almost eat them on the same day. I'm not.
I do that too.
Really passionate.
Oh, so wait,
about
so we're all weird like that. I thought it was going to be that's weird. Yeah, I think
it's easy. And
I think as you get older too, that's a thing. My dad, peanut butter toast for breakfast and a Pepsi every single day. for lunch, he would have a sandwich on beefsteak rye bread. And then for dinner, it would depend because he worked second shift, but it was more, it was just the same like sandwich. Like my father-in-law used to make like 20 peanut butter sandwiches on Sunday and then just put them in the refrigerator or the freezer. And then you just take them to work every day.
Also for like for the health aspect, I mean, that's what bodybuilders essentially do. Eat the same thing every day. Okay, here's my chicken breast and broccoli and rice. And it's like, once you get a system down and it works for you and you have your good results, whether you're in maintenance or fat loss, like once you get your system down, then you just stick with it. It's really easy. You don't have to do a lot of work and planning stuff.
That's go ahead.
I like what I like, and then also when it comes to, I would be curious what chat's take on this is. Like, it sounds boring, but it's like I make enough decisions during the day. I've got enough to think about. Like, I'm not that interested in like every once in a while, you know, you're like, oh, I really want to have this thing, or I want to make something new, and you do it. But for the most part, I'm like, look, these are the days, and this is what we eat, and I'm fine. I don't get the thrill of like, I guess I'm just not that into cooking. I know some people love it because they like to do the recipe and whatever. Couldn't be me, unfortunately.
They had I would say on this point of my, you know, I've tried multiple times over the past couple of years to like get on a good program to start losing weight. Part of what's been working this time for me is stopping viewing mealtime like an event and starting viewing it like a chore. And like it just like I have to eat, as opposed to like, ooh, it's dinner time. What should I eat? What does Jeremy want? Numbers. Yeah, it's like if I just do like meal prep, it's not even a thing. It's like, I'm hungry. I guess I'll eat this crappy pre-cooked turkey chicken and whatever. Just get it done with, you know?
Yeah, and I tell you what helps too, though, because you can have something to look forward to. If it's like, for me, on Sundays after church, I go to church with my family. We go to a restaurant after. I'm still staying on track with carnivore, but it's nice. We get, okay, now we get to go to a restaurant and I get a steak or
someone else can cook my meat
or something. Yeah. And I look forward to that on Sundays. So there you go.
Yeah. I think it's like more fun to do it that way.
I'm going hard this week. I'm about to be like under a weight that I haven't been under a long time.
Ooh.
So like I'm going like hard Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then like if I get under that, then I'm gonna go like I've got like a cheat meal. It's not gonna be a cheat meal. It's gonna be like a ribeye steak. But like, I'm being like extra fasty.
How exciting,
right Jeremy! So can I ask you a totally random question here?
Yeah.
You trained with Sam Hyde when someone like challenged you to a boxing match, right?
Correct.
I'm not that up on my internet log.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched a video last night of Sam Hyde like doing an interview as the Candyman, like a know pre-fight interview. Did you have to come up with a character too, or is that like a him exclusive thing?
No. Well, it is kind of part of it. We didn't really explore that. All I really did with Sam was get punched in the head, and then he made me work out while he sat there and smoked cigars. And then I had to do these like, I don't know what you call them, like it's like an Olympic, it's like a barbell, and then you put a weight on top of it, and you just like lift it up off the ground as a like to get your shoulder strength up. Yeah, it's like some Olympic bar, something like that. But no, we were just all training, no niceties. Now, if he had not backed out, we would have gone there. Like I was gonna do a character. I was thinking about my call out because I was definitely gonna kill the guy. Like it was never a question whether or not I was gonna win.
Right.
And so I was thinking like, okay, what am I doing after I make him quit? And if I was gonna do a character or whatever, and I was definitely gonna do
like an
Sam's
accent and everything, or like
I can't do accents, but I thought a bit maybe like not saying anything, like be mute and build some suspense.
A mime.
Yeah, like something like that. Something along those lines, or like I don't know. It was gonna have to be something memorable because I mean I was gonna pummel him into a fine dust. So it was like the rest of it had to be fun for me. So I was like filming while we were there, and I didn't want to ask him to film when we were training because I didn't want him to think I was using him for content. But then if we were gonna do a second session, like I was definitely filming that. Like that, like but then he found out I was training with Sam Hyde and immediately backed out. So I was like, and then like I don't really hate anybody, so it's hard to like.
Right.
This guy was like going around in empty malls and like talking ish, and like he was going on his little treadmill every day at Planet Fitness, or it's not even a treadmill. He was sitting on his ass and pedaling a bike, and he's like, "Oh," he was doing all these videos like, "Oh, Jeremy, there's 7 days in the row at the gym for me." And he's like posting pictures about his cheap ass Everlast boxing gloves that he bought. Meanwhile, I posted nothing, and I had bought I had all the equipment. I had I was already at Sam Hyde's house. Like I was not gonna say I was gonna do no promo, and then just like fight because I didn't want him to back out. Because I knew if he thought I wasn't doing anything, he might think, "Oh, okay, I'm going to go through the
trick
fight."
into a sense of false security. I getcha.
He was talking all this shit online. It was hilarious. I was saying nothing. Then fucking Keemstar told him that I was training, and then he immediately backed out. And I was
Keemstar? Is that how this works?
Keemstar, I believe, was running like the boxing, the event. And Keem was like, he didn't mean to. It just kind of like came out because, and because he was basically like, I think he basically said something like, "Bro, like he was talking." If I remember correctly, maybe Keem will see this because he's always watching. But like, I feel like the way it came out,
like Santa.
Well, I think the way it came out was like the guy was supposed to fight was talking all this shit, and then Keem was like, "He's training with Sam Hyde, right?" Like they were like, "Oh, he's not doing anything. He's just And like, I think Keem was like, you better take this seriously because he is. Like,
he got scared.
Yeah, I flew, like, I was staying in a Roach motel because I was, I was out there twice a day training with Sam, like, but I just wasn't saying anything about it because I didn't want, so it was a huge letdown because it would have been very bad for him. It would have been legendary for me. But the problem is also, once I found out how tall he was, I started to feel a little guilty because he's way shorter than I thought. So then I was like, oh, I have to win. Like, he's like a foot shorter than me. And like,
how tall is
it's not even a fair fight. It was like 5'6" or 5'5" or 5'6" or something.
I could fight him.
Yeah, I know. I was like, so now there's
we're like
all
the
this
same height.
Yeah, it was all this extra pressure now. I'm like, well, everyone's gonna see I'm gonna like tower over this guy. Like I have to pummel him. So then I was like, okay, well, I should probably get on steroids or something. And like, I didn't take
That's
any
really
roids.
the only solution here.
Yeah. Well, I was like, well, I can't lose now. So now I'm like, fly out, stay in a extended stay hotel, DoorDash plain burgers from Outback Steakhouse, and every night and just eat like plain burgers, no bun. And then when I would get home to the hotel, I would just like be out of the shower and my entire upper body was a bruise, like all the way up and down my arms. And I'd DoorDash Tiger Balm from Walmart, and I was just like put it on my skin just so I could move. But anyway, it was fun. I would do it again.
How much time did you have to prepare? This has totally gotten away from what character would you be, by the way?
Yeah,
that's
well,
still a question I want to know.
I think it was like 6 months. It was enough time. It was enough time. I would have been down probably 50 pounds, and I would have been ready, 100%.
Well, someone should challenge you to a fight now because you're like,
I know, but like I don't hate.
Era.
Yeah, I don't hate anybody enough. Plus, I'm 42. Like it's kind of I was already getting kind of old to be doing boxing.
It's pretty ageist to say that you can't.
I didn't want to be like Boogie, who's like Boogie did, and his pants fell off. Like,
oh no,
it was so bad, and he got killed. Madney says, I've lost 25 pounds simply by cutting sugar and processed food as well as jogging 4 miles a day. Most people can lose weight easily with a little diet and exercise, nothing crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to do. Nothing crazy. I'm just staying on my lose a couple pounds a week, and as opposed to trying to get any crazy programs or any of that kind of stuff. Let's get into these. Joshua Zero also subscribed with the Prime, and Pacman says, good afternoon, Jeremy, Melanie, and Hannah Claire. Those gay men buying babies need to come to an end. Those babies grow up confused and abused them both. Well, let's actually talk about that because that's the first thing on my docket here. Now, now that the girls are finally here. So there's a story.
The show right now. Every minute you do this, I'm so tempted. It feels like a bridge too far to take you out of your own show.
It'd be funny, like it'd be funny. So this guy, let me share this article. So this story was broken by the team over at Redux, who does great work. And Anna Slotz. I have a more in-depth video coming out on it later today because I have a very strong opinion about surrogacy in general.
Yeah.
And it's even stronger when we're talking about two men buying babies. I know it's just like two women shouldn't buy babies either.
I agree.
But it just feels a little creepier when it's two men.
I agree.
So here's two gay men who crowdfunded their surrogacy, which I remember covering. I was like, these gays don't even have enough money to pay for a surrogacy. They should not be having a child.
They crowdfunded a surrogacy? Are they going to crowdfund every time they need to buy diapers? Or my goodness.
I think people would do that though. I mean, I know a lot of
in
people
today's society, hell yeah.
Their first reaction is like, let's set up that GoFundMe or whatever.
Yeah, Tony, welcome as a member on
meanwhile,
YouTube.
They're eating real good.
Yeah, they're both
For people who had to
eating plenty.
crowdfund this, they're eating in excess.
They're eating plenty. So they put out a video kissing their baby every day for like a year or something. And TikTok was like, oh, it's so, love is love. It's so good. It's, oh my God, it's so stunning and brave. And well, this guy, I believe, is he the guy on the right or the left? They're both much fatter in these second photos. I think it's probably him.
The glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. This guy you think he is. Okay.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, they both look kind of similar. One of them was a convicted child predator.
Right.
Who had solicited and received spicy photos from a student.
Oh my.
And when they contacted the police, because this seemed odd, the police were like, wow, that's odd. Isn't there any kind of, because there are background, like if you're an offender, you cannot adopt.
Right.
If you're a known offender.
Surrogacy isn't regulated like adoption.
Surrogacy is not.
That's
you can literally
crazy.
just buy a baby. And
that's why that one story we saw where it sounds like they were trafficking children to have like 12 3-year-olds or
the
whatever.
California one.
Yeah. This is wild.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's sad. I mean, sorry, go ahead, Jeremy.
Well, I was just saying how we got here was this Derek Blyhe or Bly, I don't know. He shared this video on the 27th. It went viral on TikTok and everyone was like, oh, this is so stunning and brave. This guy who's like a right-winger shared the video, and less than 24 hours later, it was discovered, this guy's a sex offender. And people were calling him a homophobic.
Later, like anyone else could have found this, and they all were like, no, it's I'm sure this is fine.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. It's very odd to me. I don't know. What do you two think of this? Obviously, here makes me so happy. This baby's going to be raised not to hate people and will be loved. 250,000 likes, gets community noted. One of the men, Brandon Mitchell, is actually a convicted child predator and on the registry. He went after one of his own students while working as a teacher and made spicy videos. And when he got arrested, he had thousands of videos of CP on his computer.
Oh my goodness.
By the way.
Wow.
He got sentenced to 23 months and got let out in 2 months because, of course,
Only 2 months?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, 2 months for, grooming a 15-year-old in his class and then obviously having, massive amounts of, those types of videos on his computer.
Do we know what his job is right now? Because it's also like
he works in a pharmaceutical lab now.
Oh, surprised he doesn't work as a teacher or something.
Well, he had to give up
as
part of his as part of his parole. He had to give up his teaching license.
Oh my! Why are they always teachers?
Yeah. His husband's a teacher,
feels
by
like
the
that's
way.
Like bare minimum.
Second grade teacher.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Wow. We need more regulations for stuff like this. And when it comes to people living these kind of lifestyles, like a gay lifestyle, a transgender lifestyle, so on and so forth, those are sexually perverted, degenerate lifestyles. They're satanic, they're demonic. And statistically speaking, people who are participating in any forms of perversion are going to be more likely to participate in other forms of perversion.
Yes.
This is why I always say things like, and people didn't like it when I tweeted this, but I said something to the effect of like, promiscuity. People who are really promiscuous, they're very likely to be on the down low and to be doing gay stuff. And it's all a slippery slope because that's perversion as well. If you are entertaining one form of perversion, you are more likely to go down that slippery slope. And of course, to worst case scenario, what we see here with this guy with children. So we do need more regulations on this. I think that people who are living in these kind of sexually degenerate lifestyles should not be allowed to have children. And I also think that people with heavy porn usage shouldn't be adopting children either. I know people might not like that one, but it all leads down that same slippery slope. As a society, we've got to start stigmatizing porn. We just have to. This is a result of that. The gay stuff, the gay surrogacy, the transgender stuff, all of this is a part of the slippery slope because society started normalizing porn and kink and this and that. It all leads down to the same path, and that's child abuse.
Well, Hannah Claire, I was going to kick it to you here. They revealed that he had exchanged 12,000 text messages with the kid, and had a huge amount of photos and sent him 20 nude photos of himself. What do you make of kind of this? I mean, first of all, well, actually, let me just get your take first, because I want to talk about the homophobia
So many
thing.
directions we can go.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said here. I'm just going to get your take.
Well, okay. So there's two primary paths I want to go down in this monologue that I present to you. Welcome to my TED Talk. The first one is I think this reporting of behaviors of teacher of any sexual orientation or gender, this type of thing is awful. It's one of the reasons that you have to be so careful where you send your kids. It's one of the reasons people don't trust schools these days. It's one of the reasons that, the image of teachers is permanently stained. So if it's this gay man inappropriately approaching a young boy, if it's a female teacher approaching a young boy, if it's a male teacher approaching a girl, whatever it is, it's horrible, and I think we should treat it way more seriously. The fact that he was out in 2 months is insane to me. As far as I know, he was a public school teacher, so it's not like it's like any student in the district could have been exposed to him. It's just
certainly was too. It probably wasn't just the one.
No, it probably wasn't just the one. This is just the one that spoke up or whose parents intervened or something like that. And I think that this is something, especially as a teacher, and I don't want to sound like liberal, but like you're in a position of power, you're in a position of authority, you're receiving government money to do your job. It should be just, I think you should take it even more seriously. And it's not enough to lose your license, especially if you're out in 2 months. The other aspect here is surrogacy. And we might talk about this more extensively, but it has always been one of these things that I find to be a legal gray area that we have to talk about more. And definitely surrogacy has moved to the forefront of a lot of conversations. But, you've all probably known celebrities from, the early 2000s that had babies via surrogate. It was just something that was sort of happening we didn't think about. But although I have, a libertarian streak in my hair and I don't love regulation, this is very, very odd. So if you look at, I've known Christians who want to go through embryo adoption. Embryo adoption is where you adopt a baby that's fertilized, on ice because of IVF. And, they want to give it a chance at life. They want to carry a child, can't have their own whatever. And the regulation around it looks like as if you were like buying or selling property. And that is
Hannah Claire,
what all of this comes down to.
I wanted to point out, there's an agency that is pretty hardline against surrogacy out of the UK called Surrogacy Concern. And they reported that this is like a known thing in the offender community. And this has happened multiple times before.
Yeah.
Where they know they can't adopt. So they just know that, but they can't, and there's no laws against it.
Right. It's sort of like a horrible modern problem that, because of a combination of science and depravity and cultural bankruptcy, we have arrived at this point, and the legislation hasn't caught up with it. Partially because I think people aren't thinking of this devious way to use surrogacy. Surrogacy has a lot of risks, both for the children, but also the surrogates themselves. I mean, it's not a fantastic industry for anybody.
True.
But it just becomes something that I think kind of like the conversation around abortion, you can't have a logical conversation about it because so many emotions get tied into it.
Right.
Oh, well, this couple's been struggling with infertility for a long time. And don't you want them to be able to have a child, or the birth rate or whatever? And we kind of like turn a blind eye to all of the evils and pains that are around it. I think with this case, the fact that it's just like two people, you know, if you were wanting to adopt or foster a child in this country, it's not a perfect system. I think there's a lot of ways to improve it, but you would still be accountable to someone. You would still have to go through a background check, a home study. That's not the case with how surrogacy is regulated in most states. And it does vary a little bit, but like you could just approach a surrogate and say, hey, we'll cover your medical bills and you give us what comes out. Like that's bananas. That's the most insane, very obvious child trafficking I've ever heard of, even if you're doing it with good intentions. Like this is dangerous and we shouldn't just let it continue.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they've actually banned surrogacy in general. I don't like it. I know it's a sad situation for actual couples who can't conceive. And yeah, that's a sad thing. But at the end of the day, I think when it comes to things like creating a child, that's a natural thing that God is in control of, and I don't like the idea of doctors interfering with that. And it's just, and again, it's too much of a slippery slope. Look where we're at now with these predators and perverts who are buying kids now. I don't like it.
Well, and that opens up kind of this. I had this other surrogacy kind of nightmare story. You know, this is a story that, you know, horrifying photos show sickening way that babies were degraded at surrogacy factory. Now, this is the story we talked about last week. You know, children were apparently put on desks and spanked and forced to do squats in a classroom inside California home where multiple surrogate babies were kept, according to disturbing search warrants.
What?
These images were seen by the Daily Mail. They show infants sat in lines while nannies and teachers did these horrible things to them and yelled at them in the home owned by the Chinese couple. Another set of photos from the warrants show a 2-month-old baby in a hospital bed wearing a neck brace after he was rushed from the home with severe head injuries. I'm assuming fell off something or rolled off a table, I'm guessing. A total of 21 children, including 17 toddlers, were taken into protective custody, but warrants viewed by the Daily Mail revealed detectives recovered hours of video surveillance footage from inside the 9-bedroom home. The documents detailed how the couple's children sat in makeshift classrooms while the nannies or teachers repeatedly spanked them and degraded them. Detective Jose Robles, wrote in the warrant, multiple CCTV cameras were located throughout the house, including bedrooms and common areas. We observed large rooms which appeared to be set up as learning centers with small desks with large whiteboards. I mean, in another photo, a child who allegedly got spanked was seen squatting on the floor. You see the kid here, it's kind of grainy. You know, and the child's arms stretched out in front of him. I think that's a form of punishment, like doing where you have to put your arms out and then squat. Like, I think that's a form of physical punishment. I mean, this is, again, like, this is why surrogacy is a problem. There's too much of this. Like, what? I mean, they were very clearly selling these kids. I mean, right? They're very clearly, you know, why?
I mean,
by
there's
the way,
no positive scenario for this house. If they're not selling them, they're keeping them and abusing them and training them for what? Like, it's just obviously horrors.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is very, very odd. You know, it's. I mean, this is right now they're being held on $500,000 bail, which isn't even that much. Because remember,
they probably are pretty
$50K.
rich.
Yeah,
they're probably pretty rich anyway because they already can afford to have that many 3-year-olds in their
that
house.
They're paying probably 50 or 100 grand to be surrogates. You know, it's very, very weird. I mean, they said, "Oh, we wanted to have a large family." Well, that does not seem that does not really
I don't know. It doesn't
seem-
add up to me. You wanted to have a large family, so you have all these 3-year-olds at the same time. I don't know about that.
What do you think, Hannah Claire?
I mean, I think that they're obviously up to something bad. Okay, first off, like, why are you in the U.S. at all? I don't understand. Right. If you're Chinese nationals, I think you should go fight your own government's family size laws and deal with that there. But in this case, you'll every once in a while see these videos of people who are like, "Oh, we wanted a large family," and so we had what I think I saw of like a couple in somewhere in Eastern Europe, but. This doesn't seem right. I think this whole setup sounds strange to me. The description of the house was like it was set up like a hotel. It's got classrooms. Like it doesn't seem like they're just like a big happy family hanging out with their playground. Like this seems odd. Also, I'm sorry. Like who wants to have 10 plus 3-year-olds all at once? Like why
that's
that
odd.
huge wave of same age children? How could you possibly like just be like, oh, we just wanted a big family? Sometimes I think that's just like spin given to US media where people are more sympathetic to large families. Not all the time, but more than I think in China. It's another example of why you can want limited government, but look at surrogacy and say you can't just do whatever you want here. And I think in this case in particular, as I mentioned before, it's an example of where surrogates are harmed. They constantly told these women, "Oh, we have one child and we just want one more for our family to be complete." They lied. They themselves were the surrogacy agency. I don't think that was disclosed to the surrogates. I think there are surrogates that are probably in it just for money, and I think there are probably surrogates in there doing it because they're bleeding hearts and they think they're doing the right thing. And they are also being abused by this ill-defined system. I don't know how you would go about regulating it. I think you'll always, because I think it should be done by the state level. I think you'll always see a certain level of discrepancy, but it's this kind of like child farming for what purpose that you would want to prevent, or in the case of our other one, having a child in a home that's not safe. I mean, if you can just like purchase a child, what is to stop anyone from doing it? And at what point are you actually serving these children that are being conceived, I think, for probably terrible purposes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the solution is. Yes, there are many couples, happy couples, who use a surrogate and raise a kid good. And yes, there are biblical, consequences to surrogacy that are complicated, because you're essentially fertilizing a bunch of eggs. And,
my question is, what are they doing with the eggs that the other eggs, right?
They say
that they flush them, but what if the so the baby blood drinking celebrities or something are getting access to these embryos and are doing because kids are constantly being trafficked, and
we don't know,
and abused by a lot of I don't know. I know a lot of this is conspiracy and all that, but how do we know?
It's just your thoughts, your opinion,
How do we know they're not doing these things? How do we know there aren't people behind the scenes, a lot of the wealthy people behind the scenes who aren't torturing these kids, who aren't abusing these kids or harvesting their blood and things like that?
Or just to throw it out there, how do you know that the embryos are being thrown away and not given to another couple? I mean, we've all read stories about fertility doctors that say like, "Oh, yes, we'll help you," and they're actually using their own semen to impregnate women and lying about it. Like in this case,
one guy had like hundreds of babies.
Oh, there's multiple of them that have hundreds of babies, and the problem in a lot of those cases is that they then live in a close geographic region. It's and I'm not like always IVF must be stopped. I think there are probably ways to have IVF done ethically if you were really, really scrupulous about it. Because I do think
you take one egg and
Or, if like I've had talked to Catholics about it, and they're like, no, you could never do it because that involves a third person. There should never be a third person involved in conception. Like I don't have a clear answer on it, but I do think that like I'm not trying to be too extreme or too definitive. I think the problem for me right now, the immediate triage point is the IVF route. IVF when used for surrogacy. Like this seems like it's just completely unregulated and also just about like greed and want and destruction. I mean, you can't look at this Chinese couple and the way they're raising their 21 children, or whatever, and tell me like, oh, they just really wanted a baby and they need a loving home. Like this doesn't seem okay at all. I feel like we're removing the compassion and the nurturing aspect of all of what's needed to start a family from this when it becomes a business and a science.
Well, it's definitely more transactional, right? When you're like, especially when you're talking about two men, where like they're buying an egg from a woman. It's not like a couple where they're using their own sperm and egg.
Right.
You're buying the stuff. There's a price.
You're buying
for
an
it.
egg, and then you're renting a lady. And then
Right.
you're seeing what happens.
That's what's funny is because the liberal ideologues who funded these people to do that and stuff, they want to pretend like they care about women and they're, oh yeah, we're feminists and all that, when in reality, they are supporting the erasure of women through the transgender movement. And then they're also supporting the just treating women like breeders with this surrogacy stuff. Like, oh, even calling them birthing persons. Like that's all a woman is to the liberals that are the far left liberals on these woke ideologies. It's just, oh, you're just a birthing person. That's it.
And I think it takes away some of the like larger interconnected aspects of like mother baby health, right? Like, you know, if you had a problem breastfeeding and you couldn't do it, I understand. Like, I'm not like trying to say, you know, you condemn people who use formula, but breast milk is kind of an amazing substance because it's designed to help your baby. If you're like, well, you could just have a surrogate and they have a baby and then you put your baby on formula, like we're not acknowledging some of the amazing things that the body is built to do and the ways that you can help babies. Like people know that there are tons of benefits to breast milk, but except in this one corner of our universe where we're like, no, everything's exactly the same. It's the same kind of mentality that comes with, sorry, Jeremy, I always do this. Mass migration. When we have a fertility crisis and the answer is like, oh, well, we'll just increase the number of people that are allowed in. Like, no, they're not interchangeable. And in some circumstances, maybe you can allow limited legal immigration, but probably not to correct your birth rate. That's like saying your people are just, you know, numbers on a board. In this case, I think saying like, well, you could just produce a baby and that's fine. It doesn't need its mother. It doesn't need its caregiver is ridiculous. And it makes people more devoid of humanity.
Right. I agree with that. I want to go to this other story here too. By the way, I want to give you both a chance to let the people know where they can find your content. I think Melanie Mac's got a live stream tomorrow.
Yes,
right?
tomorrow at 7 Central Time, 7 p.m. I have Melanie, or I have Go Boom Live. I can't even remember the name of my own show. Go Boom Live on Melanie Mac Go Boom on YouTube or Melanie Mac on Rumble. I also have been uploading 2 videos a day on weekdays. They're about just mostly pop culture stuff. And then you guys can catch me on my Bible channel at Bible Time with Melanie Mac, where I've got a new video every weekday, and then Bible verse of the day every single day.
That's awesome. I'm Hannah Claire B on Rumble and YouTube and X. I put up a video yesterday for my series, Last Week's News Today, talking about a couple stories, including the Sydney Sweeney jeans versus jeans debate.
I put that video out and it totally flopped on my channel. I was like, what? Big boobs in the thumbnail.
Well, I'm going to be real.
Didn't do anything.
I'm going to be real on this. And I saw the same with like the Daily Wire. They posted that on Instagram and it flopped because if you look at the comments from like, which reflect actual conservatives and not just X, a lot of people, they didn't ask for this. A lot of conservatives, I don't understand the picking Sydney Sweeney as your conservative mascot when she is a glorified prostitute. She takes her clothes off for money. She's going with a sexual angle. Yes, I get it that the liberals are being dumb with thinking this was some eugenics ad because it's not. I think that, but clearly the message of the ad was she has good genes. She's got big boobs. Like it was, and I think that, hey, just because somebody can make the liberals mad doesn't mean that they should be taken as a conservative, take as a conservative mascot when it's clearly, if you're going to complain about what girls wear to the gym, which I agree, they do dress too provocatively at the gym, but then you're glorifying Sydney Sweeney, who is a glorified prostitute, then what message are you sending to young girls? They think that they're going to get positive attention for that. If Sydney Sweeney is getting positive attention for her tits being out all the time, well, then these girls are going to want to put their tits out all the time. So, yeah, I think the liberals are mad for the wrong reason, but I don't think this is a win for conservatism either.
I think everyone's kind of overthinking it. You know what I mean? Like, she is the face of a mall store jean brand, and that's fine. Like, it's not about eugenics. It's not about her being the conservative lady icon. Like, everyone take a deep breath. It's okay. Like, this got so much more attention. Like, not like American Eagle's coming out and being like, well, we're a MAGA brand. Like, no.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're not doing that.
It's pretty blonde girl wears jeans. And if everyone hadn't talked about this, it would not be as a big deal as they made it into, which is kind of why it's funny to me. You know, I you don't need to love Sydney Sweeney. You don't need to shop at American Eagle. Either side of the aisle, it's fine. But I just thought it was like kind of fine wordplay. Jean, whatever. It's
right. It was clearly okay. She's a beautiful woman, so good genes for that. It had nothing to do with her being white.
No, and it's totally spun out of control. I haven't checked my video, so I don't know, how it's doing. It does. My video has 2 other stories in it. There's one on the public defenders in Hawaii asking their governor to not work with ICE or not let cops work with ICE, and then also the House Judiciary put out a report on the Biden administration basically creating what they're calling a false narrative about American Catholics. You guys probably remember the reporting on like they were monitoring Catholics who were attending Latin Mass, which is a traditional service. And I was sort of surprised that it didn't get more coverage just because, that was such a big scandal during the Biden administration. So if you want to hear about last week's news, go watch my video on my channel, Hannah B, on Rumble and YouTube. And I'm also on X at Hannah B. Jeremy, do you have coffee today?
I actually don't. I want to shout out a friend of mine's company who just started. I mentioned them before. He makes these things called Mighties. There's a link in the description below. Mighties is like actual healthy, like Maha alternative for kids. Drinks, like, because kids drink so much like garbage all the time. This stuff is pretty cool. You can read more about it on their website. There's a lot of data on here. This says Mighties allows you to stop paying for juice, beverages, and overpriced kids drink. Kids drink 65 pounds a year in sugar. 46% of it comes from drinks. 34% of kids exceed their daily caloric limit with added sugars, mainly from these drinks. It helps, they have meltdowns, all this kind of stuff. Well, Mighties has a bunch of amino acids, no sugar, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B complex, complete amino acids. You can read about all this stuff. It's like a super healthy, really great alternative for kids to drink. And I have green apple, which I drink them because he gave me a bunch of them, but they taste great. They help with brain function, immune support, which is important for going back to school, strong bones, muscle development, and it has no sugar, and just 10 calories. And, so there's a link in the description, and you get a huge discount. I was trying to double check. He gave me a promo code to give you guys a bunch of money off. I think it's in the description. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in chat. I think it's the quartering. There's a link, and then there's a link in description to all the tutorials. So I think people should give it a try. There's pink lemonade, apple punch, and I think a third flavor. But yeah, it's super healthy, and it's good to get your kids off all that. Someone talked about, getting their kids off sugar and stuff. So
it's got a lot of folate. That's cool.
Yeah, it's got a lot of, like, I can't pronounce a lot of this stuff, but healthy people know what this stuff is. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, folate, and amino acids.
I like it.
And
no sugar.
Yeah, no sugar. So yeah, help him try his company. I'll give it a try. There's a link in the description. Then promo code the quartering, I think, gives you a big amount of money off. So
folate is supposed to be really important for brain development, and I think some people are getting hold of it. So very cool product.
Yeah. It says, according to CDC, nearly 1 in 3 teens aged 12 to 17 show signs of potential metabolic risk. It's kids are drinking, prime energy drink and all this crap, growing up. So
yeah,
check this stuff out as a good, healthy alternative. Link in the description. It is a thirst mutilator. It's got what kids want. Everything L dash is an amino acid. Oh, okay. So there's a bunch of amino acids. I don't know about artificial sweeteners. You'd have to look. There's only 1, 2. It says natural apple flavors, so it does not have artificial flavors. Suck on that. And they use beta carotene to color it, so it has natural colors and natural flavors as well. Shout out to my boys' company that just started. Try it out. See if your kids like it. I thought that you would like this topic, Hannah Claire. Apparently, I don't know. You got to tell me ick or no ick.
Okay.
Because I think, I'm not going to say what I think. Survivor of Brian Koberger's Idaho massacre raises $50,000 for her, quote, healing journey after roommates were slaughtered in their sleep. So Dylan goes on GoFundMe, one of the 2 people that survived, and has asked to raise $50,000 for her healing journey. She writes, it's been 2.5 years of Dylan silently and bravely putting one foot in front of the other, cooperating with law enforcement, processing and healing from the unimaginable. She has to learn how to live her new reality, forever lacking peace, security, safety, and her closest friends. And I don't know what the GoFundMe is at now, but certainly it's over $50,000. Ick or no ick? What do you think, Melanie Mac?
I kind of got the ick. I'm not gonna lie. If I was murdered if I was like, okay, here, me and my friends, we're all gonna get an Airbnb. I get murdered in there, and then I find out that my friend that survived raised a GoFundMe.
That's a haunt on site, right?
Publicity of my murder.
Yeah.
I would be rolling in my grave. I would be like, Jesus, let me come back.
Yeah.
Just for a minute. No, I think it's kind of an ick. Like, there is no tangible. What is this $50,000 going toward? Like, what is the tangible
her
thing?
Healing journey.
It's
Let me
going
see if I
to
can find
actually
it.
help her.
It's like a trip to Fiji. Here we go.
I don't like it. I don't.
Let me see if I can find her GoFundMe. See if we have, maybe there's
Well, you look for it. Can I throw something else at Melanie?
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the victims, Kaylee Goncalves, I can never say the last name. Everyone here pronounces it differently. Her family raised, I think it was in total $80,000 to attend the trial. So to cover like meals and hotels.
Okay,
and
I get that.
Stuff. They have since, I believe, said that they were going to refund everybody who donated.
Oh.
And then this girl launched her GoFundMe slightly after that.
Wow.
What's the contrast here? What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think that it just shows that the family that's refunding the money and all that kind of stuff, like their intentions were in the right place. Hey, if you need the money to go,
I don't think anyone would care if they kept it.
Right,
either.
they would. I wouldn't have either.
We're critical of them doing this. They're like, you're crowdfunding off of your child's murder. Other people were definitely more sympathetic. Like it was supposed to be a 3-month trial. People were like, yes, that would be expensive, to go to a different city and stay there. So Dylan, we never heard from her publicly until the other day during sentencing when she gave her first statement. There's another surviving roommate who we still technically kind of haven't heard from. Someone else read a letter by her. I think it's giving I'm about to become internet famous.
Yeah.
I want to be more empathetic, but I'm just not.
I don't like it.
I feel like that's saying like, there was a huge car crash in front of me, but it missed my car. Give me money.
Yeah, for real.
I witnessed my friend die in a car accident. Please give me money. Like,
I think,
yeah.
Oh, I think you got to be careful with money that you receive, because if you receive like ill-begotten gains, like if you're getting money from just immoral reasons, hey, that's going to backfire on you. So I'm not going to say this is inherently immoral. It's kind of a gray area-ish, but I just say be more careful. You got to be really careful with this kind of stuff.
She says that the money is for relocation, intensive long-term trauma therapy, and extra security. Why would you need extra security? Like,
if he's behind bars, am I right?
Yeah.
If he's actually a threat, okay, but if he's not, then... Well, I don't know.
Someone else was involved and didn't go to prison. I'm
By
just
the way,
saying
also,
that's one of the rumors out there.
I'm going to say terrible picture too.
I
Bad
know.
picture.
It's
Very-
just not. It's a very like
Her face looks weird. Her
She's posing. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not very tasteful.
I
No.
also have to acknowledge that this girl, Dylan, and Bethany, the two surviving roommates, I just do not understand them at all, and I have kind of very little empathy because as part of
the
Discovery,
ones that didn't call the cops until the
they're
morning,
ones
you
that didn't
mean?
they're the ones. So during
Yeah.
Discovery, part of their text messages from that night came out, and part of in the 911 call. And so we know that yes, they did try and call the roommates that were attacked, but also that they were in the house and awake during that time, which that would be traumatic. On the other
Sure.
hand, they're like Bethany texts Dylan like, come to my room, run, after she's saying she saw someone in the house, which like, why would you make your friend leave the room if you think people are in the house?
Right.
And then also they like didn't call the cops. Like they were panicked enough to be calling everybody and texting each other, but they never called the cops, and they didn't do it until like almost noon the next day. And I just I
Heard
find
it here
that
first.
agonizing.
They were in on it, according to Hannah Claire.
I don't think that like you get so much hate online for suggesting that. I can't understand their behavior.
How can you have your
and
roommates' dead bodies? Like, there's at no point, if you have a roommate and you saw
Right.
somebody in your house, you don't check on them. Now, the one excuse could be, which the text messages kind of debunk, is like, okay, they were all blackout drunk and they slept till noon.
Mhm.
But that's not what happened. They
no,
were like,
and Bethany, the roommate that had someone else read her statement, said that in the morning she called her dad because she had a toothache and wanted his advice on like to go to a dentist, I guess, or whatever. And then afterwards, she and Dylan decided to call the cops. Like their story makes less and less sense every time they talk about it. And to me, what I can think, if like I were the family members of the slain victims, you're like, you knew someone was in the house, you were scared enough to panic to one another, but you didn't think to call the cops. Like I would never be able to be like, could my loved one potentially could have gotten aid? Like if the cops had showed up at 4 a.m., 4:35, whatever, like could something have happened? It's if it's traumatic enough where this girl needs therapy, but the other girl didn't think to call the cops. Instead, she was more worried about her toothache. Like what really happened in this house? It just makes me crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how you. I mean, I kind of had a feeling how you guys would go, but yeah, this is 100% ick.
It is.
This is just give me money, like especially now, like 2 years later. Now you want money, and this is like Carmelo Anthony. Like she needs money. Carmelo needs money for what? He said he needs security. My ass. Like same thing with this Dylan. Security. Like, I guess she's saying extra security and privacy measures. Maybe she just means she has to buy some Waze cameras, which cost like $45 each. Like, girl, get out there and like, look, I would have respected a book way more than this.
Right.
She could have written a book like, I Survived Brian Koberger, and she would have got $1 million upfront, probably from somebody to write that book. I would have respected that more than just give money.
Yeah. Oof.
I think the whole thing is weird, and it's like you want to hold yourself to a standard of empathy. Like I want to be empathetic to young people whose roommates were brutally attacked. On the other hand, every time I get any kind of information about these girls, it just something seems so weird to me, and I want to be empathetic to someone who feels like they are not safe or they've gone through something horrible, but like this GoFundMe culture is weird, and I think this is an odd way to behave.
It's getting a little out of hand now. Anytime anything eventful happens, people are starting a GoFundMe for it. I get it. If there's something tangible that is needed for a legit situation, going to court or
something serious,
medical expenses, things that are tangible. I need assistance doing this, and this is how much it's going to cost. But when it's just like, oh, I was in the same house as my friends who got murdered, give me money. For what? It's not a tangible thing. There's not a tangible goal here. Okay, I need this specific thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. 100% ick factor. Who is it set up by? I don't know who this Kate Heath person is, but finish going to school and get a job.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking? Like, I don't know. Hey, if the school had said, hey, we're going to pay for your tuition or whatever, like 100% support that. This give money, other people who are not me or my family are dead. That'd be like, surviving a school incident and then doing a GoFundMe, even though you were not injured.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't like it.
I don't either.
Whoever
I don't like
talked
it
her
either.
into this. And then she put like this weird OnlyFans photo on here where she's like got a weird fake smile. She's got her makeup all done up and she's doing the boobs out, like back arch post.
Yeah, I just think that's how like college girls pose, but like
But why would you put I would not have used that picture. I would have used like a no makeup, like an actual picture, or like I probably use a picture of Brian Kohlberger, to be honest. But like the marketer in me would not have just used a picture of like some girl posing
GoFundMe
with a terrible tattoo.
I just this case is
whatever. I wish her the best. It's just I don't love it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so odd, and especially like right after the other, like the parents and siblings said we're going to return all this money, for you to be like, okay, I'm here, and now that I've spoken publicly for the first time, I would like you guys to support me financially. Like
somebody else give money. Yeah. Well, if you're looking to donate, yeah. All right. We have a 3-way agreement that the ick is real. By the way, if you guys are trying to, my friend just texted me. Let me know if the promo code is working for this mighty stuff. The link's in the description. Promo code the quartering should give you like 25% off or something like that. Or I don't know what it should be a pretty big discount. So let me know if the promo code works. She said some people bought it. I just want to make sure that the promo code works. Now I have this other story here. The Kohlberger thing kind of popped up. There is on the gay guy stuff, which popped up, which is great. This Kids Online Safety Act. What's interesting is there has been a weird push. So in the UK, theirs is called the Online Safety Act, the Online Privacy Act, Online Safety Act, I think. And everyone's like, ha ha ha, UK, bad teeth, get wrecked. But what they don't know is that the United States has the same bill in Congress, very similar. And it's called the Kids Online Safety Act. This is something that we've talked about on this show before, and it's still bubbling and brewing in Congress. And there are bipartisan supporters. Hannah Claire sent me a few. Do you remember?
Two of its co-sponsors are Richard Blumenthal, who's from Connecticut. He's a Democrat, and Marsha Blackburn. She's from a Republican from Tennessee. And I think when they talk about it, you can understand like what they're trying to sell. I'm not saying this is all that's in the bill, but like they're saying the internet's the Wild West, and we need to find a way to have parents be able to protect their children. We need to make online, companies accountable for exposing kids to sexual exploitation or different issues. But guarantee you this becomes a huge mega bill, and they slip in all kinds of stuff. Also, any kind of regulation, especially on the new frontier, is something you have to be really careful about, even if your heart is completely in the right place wanting to protect children.
Well, a lot of this bill, like NetChoice is a pro free speech, anti-censorship source. But essentially what this bill wants to do is have the government raise your kids. And we've seen Texas pass laws banning, or Utah passed a law banning, I think, anyone under 13 from using social media.
But I don't think kids should be allowed on social media. I mean, I think the parents needs to just get.
Yeah,
that's a parent's job. Just don't let your kids on social media. They certainly shouldn't be on there.
Yeah, I mean, right. I think social media is very bad for kids. There's like almost no upside, but I also don't think the government should be deciding what parents. If a parent wants to let their kid use social media, there are certainly like good reasons. There are useful tools, but parents should do it. This COSA Act, will replace parents by a council of big government bureaucrats. And it's all under the guise of, protecting kids. And we've seen the way that the Online Safety Act has been enacted in the UK. It's actually been used to monitor people who are saying negative things about immigration. Like, they're not using it to protect kids. They're using their increased powers to monitor anybody who's, having an issue with, unchecked immigration. Also, this is, kind of the first steps of bringing about digital ID, this kind of crap that all leads to, all leads to more surveillance. This is a bit basically back from Sky News, who is talking about, Australia already lost this battle. Australia does have these kind of draconian censorship laws. And this is I think her name is Evelyn Ray, talking about, basically how they got it done in Australia. And it's the same methodology.
I think we have to actually stop pretending that the people who are pushing this so hard are doing it to protect the children. Because if they really were, there are far more depraved things that they could be banning, but they're just not going there. And I've said this from the beginning, that I think that social media is very harmful for children. I think that it's been a guinea pig generation, and I think we're yet to see the long-term consequences, unfortunately, on these children. So I'm all for monitoring, limiting, banning children from this, but I have always been an advocate that this needs to come from the home, not from the government. And that if we give the government the keys to tell us how to police our own children, it's a very slippery slope. And just like during COVID, the government used the elderly as a pretext for all of their tyrannical measures. I believe this is another pretext that the government are using in order to push this legislation through, because who in their right mind wants to say out loud, no, we shouldn't ban it for the children, because it makes you appear like you don't care for the children. So they're very clever in how they've marketed this legislation, because anyone who pushes against it, they're going to slap them with the label of being all for child abuse. But I think that what we need to remember is that it was only a few years ago the government tried to come out and ban anonymous account users on the internet. Now, obviously, this caused a massive amount of pushback, and they sort of retracted and went, this isn't going to work. So how can we make this happen? And then it was shortly after that the narrative shifted, and that's when the children came into play. And I think things like YouTube, like you said, it's such a slippery slope. I know so many people use this as supplementary education for their children. A lot of homeschool families use it. And where does it end? So I think always these sorts of things need to come from the home. And it's so easy, like you said, Caleb, for parents to say to their children, well, the government has banned it, so that's easy. But again, I think that's
what kind of dork is wearing a scarf inside? It's like wearing a beanie
like
inside.
A Harry Potter
scarf.
Let men have accessories. Don't limit them.
Not scarves. Like, no. Men's accessories are watches, period, and pocket squares.
I think that's a minimalist mindset.
And monocles.
Yes. If monocles are fine. Yeah, monocles. If we bring back the monocle, I think we'd be a much more civilized world.
I think the clip you pulled brings up some important points. I mean, one of the things that bothers me. Do you remember that anti-Semitism bill that almost got signed, but then it was like the definition of what was considered anti-Semitism would have, meant that portions of the Bible were considered anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
right. Because there was a special interest group that had written the bill, and basically no one had paid enough attention to it. I think one of the problems with having government bodies of regulation is that they ultimately kind of outsource their work. And so they'll go to some group and be like, what's appropriate for children? What's harmful? How do we set these bylaws? And if you're, a pro-trans group, you'll say anyone restricting the conversations about gender are inappropriate, so they're not allowed to be there. Like, you don't actually know what is going to subjectively be decided is okay for your child. That's why it should only be about the family and the parents. And this sort of inadvertently, or maybe intentionally, gives parents a way to say like, oh, well, it's got the kids label on it, so it's safe. I mean, you see platforms like Instagram and YouTube and stuff getting out ahead of this with like YouTube Kids or Instagram Teens, as if saying, no, it's fine. Everything that your kid sees here is going to be good, and we're not going to manipulate the algorithms in any way. Like, you just can't trust that.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, well, it's funny because there's a lot of like LGBTQ activists that are saying they have a problem with COSA because LGBTQ kids can't get their propaganda.
Oh,
like,
that's also a point, because they do indoctrinate a lot of kids via the internet, and that's how they recruit, because as we know, they can't reproduce and create more LGBTQ kids. They have to recruit them. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue that there would be a benefit in that area, but again, I really think that the parents should be keeping their kids off the internet and not the government.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the government loves when they can take over for parents.
Right.
And this is, you know, very, very common. And this is just another, you know, you don't like terrorists, do you? You don't want the terrorists to win. You have to support the Patriot Act. It's called Patriot Act. Did you read the title? Are you not a patriot?
You're not a patriot?
Yeah, and like that's where like all this nonsense with like the Kids Online Safety Act and the online safety. No, they're used to squash free speech. They are used to, you know, police, you know, people's dissent against the government, and they're bad. Speaking of which, I want to go to, speaking of dissent against the government, we now have, you know, this is the Midwest versus everybody here. This was sent to me by Hannah Claire. Somebody says, you know, the Midwest has no culture. Well, then explain this. We have we have ranch rankings in the Midwest. Now,
I don't like it. Ken's should be number one. Why is Hidden Valley above Ken's Ranch?
Yeah,
Hidden Valley is like the OG creator of ranch, but that's not true, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hidden Valley Ranch is mid.
Ken's is the best, period.
Ken's is very, very good. I think there's a reason that Hidden Valley is because it's, you know, it's the value brand.
Right.
I mean, a Tuscan Garden, which is also rated very high, is only $1.49. You know, it's like that's why most people have it.
Oh,
it's like what people are used to.
Yeah, it's used to it. You're like Hidden Valley. If you go into the grocery store here, like Hidden Valley Ranch has like 2/3 of the ranch like shelf. You're not going to see a lot of ranch options in America, in the Midwest.
Spend a ton on commercials. Like I remember the commercials where it was like zooming in on the valley. Yeah. But like, so they're like the brand recognition. Like if you think of ranch, also when you get ranch at like chains, isn't it typically Hidden Valley?
Yes, they have all that.
It is.
Yeah, and I remember Hidden Valley's like, oh, if you don't like broccoli, just douse a bunch of ranch on it. I'm like,
They put Daya on there at number 10. Daya is the vegan brand.
Yeah, Daya's garbage.
They just didn't want the page to be uneven. They couldn't come up with another one.
I think Annie's is also a vegan brand. They slipped in 2 vegan brands in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Annie, I can't be sure about Annie's being vegan because.
Okay.
But I will say Sir Kensington's is one that I bought because when I was trying paleo, like it's made of avocado oil instead of, but like
what's the take on avocado oil? That's pretty fancy for the Midwest. No,
well, it's like $8 for a jar too. So,
but there's also a lot of studies. If you actually look at avocado oil, these companies that claim they have avocado oil in their stuff, a lot of it is not actually avocado oil. It might just have very trace amounts, but then a bunch of filler oils too, a bunch of seed oils, and they can sell it as avocado oil, even though technically it's mostly not. And then a lot of it's gone rancid. Like actual trying to get good pure avocado oil is very difficult to do, and in a lot of cases you're better off getting just extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just deal with if you absolutely have to use an oil, or use tallow, you know.
Yeah, or butter. I use butter for everything.
Yeah.
I was sad when the world broke up with butter. There was a time when everyone was like, butter's terrible for you.
Well, that was the margarine era. People are like, we gotta have margarine. Butter kept our country
strong. You can't be anti-butter.
Well, I mean, Melanie Mack is the butter girl.
I am.
I would say that.
I forgot you're famous for butter.
Yeah, people walk up to her in public and say, "You're the butter girl."
Yes, I have gotten recognized in public for being the butter girl.
Yeah.
The butter girl was really a thing for me like 2 or 3 years ago, because I would make my little TikTok videos, short form videos in the car while I would be eating a stick of butter. And yeah, so then I would offer my hot takes while eating a stick of butter, and that really was a thing for a bit. But
yeah,
look, I love that.
Maybe I should bring it back.
You should.
Yeah, you should
I don't know why
bring
you
it back.
stopped loving butter, Melanie. Come on.
I know. I mean, I still eat a lot of it. And I got a lot of butter in my fridge, but I should bring back the butter short form video.
Yeah.
I think ranch is so funny because it like to people outside the US, it is like the America thing. But for me, I do think of it as like a Midwestern thing specifically, proving once again it's the heartland. It's where our culture comes from.
Yay.
Ranch like on pepperoni pizza is real popular where I live.
It's great.
It is good. Ranch on like, I mean, anything fried is generally good.
Right.
I upset a waitress a couple weeks ago because I got like, I think like a chicken tenders or something, and she was, I was like, oh, I don't want any sauce, and she was like, not even ranch.
Yeah.
Sorry, girl. I know
What
that's
are you,
illegal in this part.
crazy? Yeah.
Ranch with chicken wings is phenomenal too.
Chicken wings with ranch is automatic. I'm actually a blue cheese guy.
Yeah, I like blue cheese too.
If I have to choose between ranch and blue cheese, I way prefer blue cheese. But you know, this is not really a great tier list because this is basically just of like, what are the top selling ranches? I would figure that like, if it's the best ranch, it's probably not the most popular ranch. This is not the way things work. And like number 1 and 2 being Hidden Valley and Kraft. That seems like people who answered this said, which one do you recognize?
Right.
Like there should absolutely be some, you know, obscure ranch brand on here rated number 1.
Like a regional too. Like something that's only made in that area.
Yeah, I'm actually offended by this list because like Wishbone Ranch, Kraft, and Hidden Valley, these are like the plebeian ranch. I would be willing to, but someone said Hidden Valley actually is the best though. I mean, I think we need better ranch then. If Hidden Valley is like the only...
Raise your standards, says Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yes. Kins is better. Come on.
Kins is very, very good. It's just not popular where I live. I would say, like, there's not one thing in a glass jar on here. Okay, well, maybe this one. Simply Balanced Organic Ranch. And even that's only $2.
And the Daya one, I think. But that's vegan ranch, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Daya one's probably glass.
You know what I hear, and I've done a study. I've heard of a study that said that glass contained more microplastics than actual plastic. I don't know if Luke has seen that.
Luke, he'd have a Menti B.
He would. But I saw
Who made that study? Big Plastic. Okay.
I need to look up that study. You guys need to talk to Luke about that when he's on. But I heard that's a thing. I don't know if it's true, but yeah.
It gets harder and harder to avoid microplastics every day.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, I do want to get a second. I had another topic here. By the way, I'll have you know, Melanie, that Hannah Claire messaged me at 12:47 saying,
whatever's
"Don't forget
about
Melanie."
To happen. Oh yeah, no, that's
and
real.
that's why you both got froze out at the beginning. Omega
Look,
says,
I got slandered yesterday. It got told everyone I was late, and meanwhile I'm trying to do this job. Also, you forgot Melanie last Thursday, so I didn't want to.
I don't remember that.
There was a time that happened, but yeah.
I think that's the what do they call that? What's word like the Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstain Bears?
Oh, Mandela effect.
Mandela effect. Yeah, it never actually happened. You're convinced it did. Oh, Omega says,
I think Jeremy's full of hate in his heart, and he's bitter that he messed up.
No. Omega says ranch is satanic. Repent. Why black people like fucking ranch? What are you talking about? Ranch and anything ranch flavored is disgusting. No, man. I will die on this hill.
Everywhere. It's like because
ranch flavored Pringles are great. Ranch on regular chips, ranch dip for vegetables. Get out of here.
Let's never forget the Cool Ranch Dorito shell at Taco Bell. Come on.
Cool Ranch Doritos are the best.
They are the best Dorito flavor.
Yeah, it's not even close.
I agree.
Me and my friends
I'm not
used
really
to
a ranch
get.
person, but the Doritos were incredible.
I don't think kids do this anymore. But like when I was a kid, sleepovers was a thing. Now, maybe not for Melanie because she was a weird homeschool kid.
No, there's only a couple of families we were allowed to have sleepovers at their place, but we did. It was fun. Good.
That was the thing, like sleepovers would be like, did you get Mountain Dew? Yes. Did you get Cool Ranch Doritos? Yes. Then like that's all you needed. Cool Ranch Doritos and Mountain Dew for a sleepover.
At our Christian sleepovers, we were drinking whole milk from the farm.
I remember in particular once, my aunt, shout out my aunt. I used to sleep over at my cousin Adam's house all the time. We would stay up late, watch wrestling, have Mountain Dew and Cool Ranch Doritos. And she told me one time, she's like, I came in to check on you guys and I had to open the window. Because it was like...
He was like, these boys are gross.
Yeah. Dark Llama Boy says, the track record for people named Dylan has a bad reputation. Yeah, it's not great. Arch Bigot of Durham says, pined off table beer. They gave it to us in high school in Belgium until 2015 or something. It's only 1.1%. Joe Villa says, sounds like abuse of the kids is to condition them into thinking abuse is normal. Oh, definitely possible. Secret Cookie, we've offered to adopt my best friend's baby if she conceived again. Aww. She aborted the last one, and my husband and I have been trying. So sad. Wow. Yeah, that's
heartbreaking.
Unfortunate. Grog Bear the Fearsome says, my buddy's ex-wife abused one of their foster kids and is not allowed to foster kids anymore. She works at a high school, and they said that unless she was arrested, they don't need to know about it. Oh, great. Omega says, I'm 5'6" and 5 years older, Jeremy. Come at me, bro. I'll fight you if you don't want to. If you don't bring on Liberty Doll. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and don't care that you're 6'1", a million tall. I'll grapple your ankles. I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, I've like one thing that big guys have are crazy strong calves. I think you're underestimating just how difficult it will be when the top of your head barely reaches my knees. Like you have a big task above you if you're going to try to go after my trunk. Dirk Lomboy says, does the mom know she sold her baby to a sex offender? No, I guarantee she doesn't. By the way, up on YouTube, we've had 2 new members join, Mr. P and Tony. Thank you so much for joining as a member. Joining us, if you're a YouTube only viewer, joining as a member is like the absolute best way to support the channel. Nephilim says it's not conservative, it's laughing at retards. I don't remember what that. He's talking about the Sydney Sweeney thing. Oh. And I Like Boobies has the hot take of saying, I think Sydney Sweeney should be a mega mascot. Well, look, I'm all for it if she comes out as mega. But she has not come out as mega. And if she
stops doing the prostitution stuff, the taking off her clothes for movies, like, yeah, great. But
yeah, I was trying to navigate that hashtag yesterday for a video, and every time I scrolled down, I kept seeing her boobs. And I was like, okay, so, like, is she famous for anything else? Or, I mean, yes, great rack, okay, but what else? Like, a lot of people have great racks, and they don't I mean, what if she's for transing kids?
Not that impressed, you know?
Exactly.
I've seen a lot of great racks in my life, ladies, okay? And, you know, if they're attached to people who are, like, you know, for transing kids... You know, I'm not really a big supporter of that rack. It's a waste of a rack.
You're against it.
A lot of people say Jillian Maxwell had a great rack. Do you think that she should be a mega supporter? You know, the face of mega.
Oh, she did in the pictures. Like she
did have a crazy good rack. Yeah, the one in that, like where she's wearing a bikini. I was like, whoa, what the hell?
She had that under there this whole time. Dang, no.
Yeah,
people say that about Nancy Pelosi too.
Yeah, but hers are filled with vodka. It's different. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi's vodka knockers are also crazy huge. But, like, I don't know if it's a good rack, though. You know, like, I'd have to see a picture of her younger to see if it's good or not. Bigger does not mean better, necessarily. There could be a lot of other hidden things.
I feel like this is a, like, collaboration with Homath video that you're making, like, a proper way to assess this issue.
Yeah, I mean, they can be built for comfort. They can be built for size, for speed. There's a lot. It's not just big boobs are not automatically great boobs. What if they're huge and you can tuck them into your belt? Like, is that hot? No, that's not hot. If they look like 2 fried eggs hanging on nails, is that hot? No. So like I don't there's a lot that goes into a good pair of boobs, ladies. And I hope that you know that.
It's an important Estrocast lesson. I hope you're all listening.
Yeah. But I think that girls think that all guys just think big boobs are good boobs, but that's not the case.
Men are
guys
much more
like all
open-minded
different
than that.
kinds of boobs. Yeah.
Diversity is a strength, they say.
I think women are more critical about other boobs than men are.
Oh,
That's
for
what's
sure.
funny
Women
about
are more
it.
critical of women
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah,
Right,
I agree
yeah.
with that. Yeah. I think most guys can find something to like about just about any pair of boobs, especially if they've seen them. Then they're like, okay. So there's this movie. Maybe a little bit of homework for everyone here. Apparently, Josh Brolin has a new thriller horror movie out that has 100%.
Oh, it's Zach Kreger again. I need to watch this then.
Now I'm going to show the trailer
Okay.
because I saw it when I went to see. What's the last movie I saw in the theater? It was a horror film. I wrote it down because I was like, "This looks awesome." So I did. When she sent it to me, I was like, "I'm going to show it." It's Josh Brolin. There's 2 trailers. I guess I don't know if I go like maybe I'll go the official trailer. This is I wrote down 2 horror films. I was seeing a horror movie in the theater. What the hell did I see when I wrote it down? Because I was like, dang, that looks good.
I just didn't know if a Rotten Tomatoes score would be a deterrent or encouraging.
It's a deterrent. Usually it means there's gay stuff in it.
Right.
I remembered this trailer. And also, if you're keeping track at home, as you should have learned by now, Hannah Claire, I like this aesthetic. Oh, it's not even on the screen. This aesthetic is my
I could tell. I
aesthetic.
didn't want to interrupt, but I was like, does he think he's? I can tell you're watching
did think,
trailer face.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just
Melanie's
not on
been here
the
for too
screen.
long.
Yeah, she knew. I had that blank stare.
This is a true story that happened in my town.
Very Clove-Hitch Killer, very
Yeah.
very mid 90s aesthetic. Yeah.
Why can't I think fork? She's stabbing her
That
own
had-
face with a fork.
That had the same kind of where evil lurks thing.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I saw this in the theater.
Wow,
and
that
I was-
actually looks good.
I was
That
like,
caption,
holy
ominous tone,
shit.
pulsating.
Yeah.
Plus the the director with his track
Barbarian.
record.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really he's working on the next Resident Evil movie, and I really hope that it's
Comes
good.
out
I know
next week.
Okay, there we go. I know he mentioned like the Resident Evil movie, he's not going to be totally lore accurate, and that's always scary to hear, but he does seem to do a good job with these movies. So maybe it'll actually be good.
Yeah, I think like this is something that like this is like one of those movies where I'm like, I have to go to the theater to support it.
Right.
You know, like I have like it just has to. By the way, yeah, fuck Amazon for canceling Outer Range. It was one of the most unique shows I'd ever seen. I don't know if I could tell you to watch it because I know that they canceled it, but it's so good. It's like a combination of like, it's like a Western and dark. So there's like some like time travel that you have to kind of put together, but it's really, really good. Slow burn, not graphic. I mean, people get killed in it, but like it's I would give that a seal of approval if you're on my kind of page for movies. Like I think Outer Range is I haven't watched the last season of it, so I don't know if they ended it. Like if they gave it a proper ending and canceled it, fine. But if it ends on a cliffhanger, like Archive 88 did, then don't even bother. Sandra says Weapons looks awesome, but honestly terrifying too. I think there's a website for the movie that feels like an actual crime type site. Oh, that's cool. Hello Darkness says they fucking canceled Outer Range and I'm pissed. Yeah, because people didn't know about it. And then they tuned in, they thought it was too weird, but I thought it was awesome. It's just that you can't be a retard. Like, you have to kind of follow 3 or 4 storylines at once at all times. If you can't do that, then you're going to be confused the entire time. But if you can do that, it's one of the best new shows that that got canceled. It sucks.
Wow.
Soundwave says Trump needs to come out against COSA and say he'll veto it if it gets to his desk. If he doesn't and it signs it, I'm dropping all support for him. It will tank his support harder than the Epstein debacle. Yeah, but I mean, this has the hallmarks of something Trump would sign. It just does. Trump's like, it's protecting the kids. It's good,
It's interesting because Melania is like one of her early
That's her
moves.
things, yeah.
Well, one of her early moves this time around, she's very much like, kid in college, kind of going to Congress. She worked with Ted Cruz on a bill that was specifically designed to prevent revenge porn and like internet AI stuff like that.
I support that, by the way.
I support it. I thought it was good. And so we're right on this razor edge of like, it's an online thing and she did it to protect children and there's something good there. It's more specific than this huge generalized bill, in my opinion. But I would be curious to see if Melania Trump doesn't back it, I wonder if Trump will remain more critical, because it does seem like child online safety is becoming kind of her niche area of interest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seriously hoping that it doesn't happen. As Darkside says, I used to work with 9 ladies and all their gossiping. I can follow multiple stories. Yeah, well, then you probably liked. Oh yeah, someone says Mermaid Messiah says Archive 81 was awesome. I know it was. Oh no, I lost it. Oh, awesome. Yeah, the music, the story, everything canceled when season 2 was already ready to go and written. I know. I was hoping someone would pick it up. Netflix does that all the time. They have no idea what shows are good or not. They just care about, whether the gays like it or not. Like that show was unique. It had a black lead character, had everything that, Netflix, you would think Netflix would keep around. And they canceled it. And on top of that, they fucking ended on a huge cliffhanger. Like if they didn't do that, then it would have been like, oh, that's kind of sucked. But no, the last episode ended on a massive cliffhanger. And, very obviously they had planned on having a season 2 and then they just canceled it. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen for From. Like From better get to the point here, because they've got about 20 balls in the air. And like every season they film takes longer and longer to come out. And it forces you to have to watch a previous season so you know what the hell's going on. And From season 4, I don't think is even supposed to be out till next year at this point. I'm going to lose interest. Paramount's going to, other people are going to lose interest and they're going to cancel it. And we're never going to get a conclusion. In the 70s, year after year was one box office hit after another. Well, yeah, but people didn't have the internet then. People went to see movies because Roger Ebert told them to. There weren't big websites that would have people. That's a big part of it. The same thing for video games. Like in the 90s, people forget, like bad games sold like crazy. Everybody had a lot of bad games because the only press we had was press that was controlled by the game makers.
Right.
Like you opened up Nintendo Power to find out which game you wanted.
Right.
But it was owned by Nintendo. If you
and
wanted
Nintendo was like, pick this one.
Right.
Oh, as a gamble, you were going to buy a new game. It was like, let's see if it's good. Yeah, you
had
don't
no
know.
idea.
Yeah.
And the same was true for movies. You might see a movie trailer on TV, but what you read was industry plant movie reviewers in the paper.
Yeah.
And you read like 2 lines about the movie and you saw that Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars and you went and saw it. Like there was that, and obviously more people went to the movies back then too, because there wasn't the internet, there wasn't streaming.
Entertainment was consumed differently. It wasn't so home based at that point.
Yeah, there were a lot of shitty movies that were box office. Somebody says if you like Slow Burner, you have to watch House of the Devil 2009. I'm pretty sure I saw this. I'm pretty sure I saw this. Let's see.
I'm telling you, one of the best horror movies was that game show one. We both watched.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was called. That was amazing.
That was very good. Yeah, that was very good. It was streaming. You didn't even have to pay to see it.
Yeah.
It was called.
Forgot what that was called.
It was a talk show, not a game show.
Yeah,
right?
talk show. You're right.
Talk show with the devil.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Late Night with the Devil is what it was
Late Night
called.
with the Devil. That was it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, very, very good. Free. If you have streaming or whatever. This movie, let me see. I'm pretty sure I saw this, but if not, I'll watch it tonight.
I love it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
The 70s hairstyle.
Yeah, Farrah.
Survive the night.
Yeah, I feel like
old couple's house to watch TV, and if that's it, like sometimes it's just so hard because they're so stupid. Like I can't even $400, but man, oh my goodness.
all I have to do is walk around with this briefcase, and you'll give me $10,000. Oh, okay.
Gosh,
I'll give it a shot. They're clearly trying to go for like a 60s or 70s aesthetic, or maybe early 80s aesthetic. Oh yeah, most authentic modern vintage 80s looking movie ever.
Okay.
I got to admit, I don't love the 80s aesthetic. I do like it in like the early Jason movies, and Nightmare on Elm Street. So, but it's just hard to get right. But I will watch it. I'll watch it tonight. I'll report back.
Okay.
Yeah, the vibe is cool. When I saw 2009, I'm like, they wouldn't have that hair. But then I was like, oh, then I finally figured out. I'm like, oh, it takes place in the time that they would. I just saw so many bad 80s horror films that when I see that aesthetic, I'm like, mostly because I don't like slashers. So we'll see. I don't like, graphic violence in my horror films. A couple of kills is fine. That's why I could never get into the Terrifier. I was like, Jeremy, watch Terrifier. So I watched the first Terrifier, and one of the kills is like a nude woman that he cuts in half and splits her body in half. And I'm like,
wow.
That's
a bit much.
I turned it off after that. I was like, I'm not like this. Just not. I know that people like it. I'm not like,
I think sometimes it can be so over the top that it just takes you out of the experience.
Yeah,
that's the thing with the
dude. Definitely had like, was not as good as the first. I still liked it fine, but again,
how scary!
I'm gonna jump out for a second.
There's
if
a
I
ghost
can't come
in the
back,
stream.
I blame your movies.
All right. Well, it's only on your end, so sleep with one eye open. Ani, Bonnie. Onyx is here, like early into it, and they got to carry him. That one's good. And there's no gay stuff in it. Like I'm now like Melanie has like bundle of sticks pilled me. Like if it's just in the show or like if it's anything but a casual mention, I'm just out. I'm out.
Right.
Like I'm just not going to support that show in hopes that other people will follow along, and like those shows will start to get canceled.
For sure.
I used to put up with it, and I was like, even like American Horror Story, which is basically a gay porno. I used to put up with it, but I'm like, you know what? No, the second there's any of that stuff, I'm just out.
Yep.
Like, wait, oh man, the quartering emails are behind a paywall now. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I don't think they should be.
Okay.
Hannah Claire, let the people know. I figure we'll wrap here anyway. Let the people know. Make sure you do your homework and start watching The Killing, because I think you're gonna like that.
Okay. Well, now I think my audio's haunted, so I'm scared to watch it. I gotta go to mass and get some.
You
holy
sound
water
good.
first.
It's not. It's the Killing is not like a demonic thing. It's a true crime thing, like Clovefish Killer. I think you'll like it.
Okay, as long as you promise.
Yeah.
You can find. Wait, you told me to tell people where to find.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You can find my work on Rumble and YouTube. Hannah Claire B. I'm also on X. Hannah Claire B. I have an episode of reviewing news from last week up right now. I'll have another video up later in the week because I think it's going to be a little more speculative and hopefully more conversational. That's it. Hannah Claire B. And yes, The Killing. I will start The Killings, plural, right?
No, singular.
No. Singular. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll check it out. The Clovefish Killer was great. I really thought it was cool. So I trust your movie recommendations, although I am still scared of the demonic movies. I
told you it was scary. Someone in chat said, opinion on the movie Talk to Me always looked interesting. Talk to Me was good, but it had a lot of cringe Gen Z stuff in it that was like immersion breaking for me. The premise is that like they summon this dead woman, and then they're like doing it for like internet clout. And so there's like, I don't like movies that are like that, where it's like, oh my God. Before you watch The Killing,
okay,
Hannah Claire, I have
You're revising the syllabus. What is this?
I give you a quartering stamp of approval on this. Okay. I want you to watch the movie The Stranger.
Okay. I feel like I've heard of that one.
Have you seen it already or not?
Let me Google it really quickly.
I'll show you the trailer. It's literally a true story, based on a true story on the largest manhunt in history. Here's the trailer. So my only problem with the movie is it took me 2 watches to figure out what was going on. So I'll tell you this much that will make your viewing pleasure much better. One of the guys is a cop, and they're trying to like entrap somebody who they think is responsible for this crime. I didn't figure it out until really late in the movie, and I was like, shit, I really would have liked to know that because it would have made a lot more sense.
Changes context for sure.
Yeah, but like it is like when I say a slow burn, like that fucker is barely an ember, but it is like the entire time you're like, and don't Google the real case because because it follows the real case, but then like you can follow the real case afterwards. And
that's cool. But
yeah, I think they did really, really good. Again, people say boring. That's fine. I would I'm saying my recommendations are not for everyone, but I stand by that one. I would. It's really slow, so you just got to give it time to kind of pick up.
That's interesting. It also seems like it's the opposite of a lot of like crime or horror movies. Like the slowness is where the tension builds, but so many things want like the jump scare or like the quick build.
Yeah, they're looking for a missing boy the whole time. So anyway, yeah. So cool. Melanie, let them know where they can find you and what you have going on.
All right, I have a stream tomorrow evening at Melanie Mac Go Boom on YouTube or Melanie Mac on Rumble. And then my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mac.
By the way, you might want to watch it with captions on if you can't. They all have Australian accents. I could understand it fine because I did a podcast with Bering, an Australian guy, for many years. But sometimes when they're having like quiet dialogue, I'm back. Sometimes when they have quiet dialogue, it's kind of hard to hear exactly what they're saying. But yeah, you guys know where we're at. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 Eastern. Wherever you're watching. Thanks to everyone who joined as a member on YouTube or joined Rumble Premium or joined as a member or subscribed on Twitch or Kick. All of that goes to supporting the show. And check out my buddy's product, Mighty's. It's linked in the description. You can save 25% off with promo code TheQuartering. Give your kid or yourself something actual good to drink that helps with your immune system and doesn't have any, no artificial flavors or artificial colors or dyes or any of that stuff. So that's all good, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye.